Continuing our coverage of the indictment of Governor Gavin Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, has pleaded not guilty to 23 federal charges against her. Joining me now is San Francisco Chronicle political reporter Sophia Bolag. Sophia, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So first, I just want to start. We talked about this in the last panel, but what are you hearing when it comes to the possible impacts of not just Governor Gavin Newsom, but also potential gubernatorial candidate Xavier Becerra?
Yeah, I would say there isn't like a clear consensus at this point about exactly how much this impacts Becerra's gubernatorial campaign, but there is sort of widespread agreement that it's not great for him. I think that it does, even though he's not implicated, the indictment really does go out of its way to really make it clear that he was the victim here, was not one of the co-conspirators, at least according to the federal government in their indictment. But it does sort of call into question his judgment. He did approve these very high payments of $10,000 a month to a political consultant to basically manage dormant accounts. And so I think there are really questions there about his judgment. He has said that he really trusted his former chief of staff, who was the one who then current chief of staff, who was the one who told him that these were appropriate amounts to be paying. So that's really his defense there, but I do think it raises questions.
And the headlines for Governor Gavin Newsom, though, I mean, how does that impact him?
Definitely not great. I think, as was mentioned in the previous segment, he's in all the headlines. And even though he is also not implicated in the indictment, there's really no evidence that he did anything wrong here. I think, as you've pointed out, just the specter of a possible investigation by the federal government into Newsom, we don't know if there really was one. That's what Dana Williamson's lawyer says she was told, but we don't know at this point whether that's really what was happening or what it was about. And Newsom's office has said that they're not aware of any federal investigations initiated under either the Biden administration or the Trump administration, and that there's no basis for any, but we just don't know what that means. And so I think it really casts a real specter over the governor here.
Yeah, but those are important notes. I mean, the governor watched this happen from Brazil this week. And just given, the global stage that he was on when this happened, he was also at the same time trying to make some news himself by signing agreements with other nations. I mean, how substantive do you see those agreements being?
Yeah, so I think it depends on the agreement. I mean, Newsom and his advisors would tell you they are substantive and they are meaningful. But I think it's also really a messaging play for him. And this is not the first time he's done this. He went to China a couple of years ago and also signed climate agreements there. He has really, as President Trump has really taken a step back and pulled the United States out of a lot of global climate agreements and really reversed a lot of policies that were implemented under the Obama and Biden administrations. Newsom has really tried to step forward on the international stage and present himself as what he would say is a reliable partner, a more consistent partner, himself and California, because even as at the federal level, as administrations have shifted from Democrat to Republican, the policies have changed. In California, it's much more consistent. There's a much more consistent commitment from the state government here to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and, really combating climate change. And so that's really what Governor Newsom has been talking about in Brazil, really trying to sort of present himself as a foil to Donald Trump, right. And, present California as, even if the United States is backing off of things, California is still pushing ahead.
All right. Sophia Bolag with the San Francisco Chronicle, thank you so much for your time.
Great to be here.